Yeah, that last couple weeks of the season was really important for us and lots of high leverage moments. And obviously, this series, these are the biggest outs I've gotten in my career. So, yeah, I'd say those last couple weeks leading up to the postseason definitely prepared me for this. Yeah.
Nico on the left.
Gabe right here. Just the idea that the other night in Game 2, when this team needed the hit, they got it. And all season long, we've heard you guys say this team has each other's backs, and certainly it appeared. How was the mindset since that game, and how do you feel heading into this, especially what we saw Sunday night?
Yeah, definitely a big moment, that hit. And, I think it's just given us momentum coming here to Detroit and hoping to continue that momentum and keep winning ball games.
Gabe right here. Yep. I heard you say the last day or two, you're asked about going against lefties, and you're talking about I do my plan A. I think, you throw your best stuff, and that's been the plan. I just wonder, your conviction, has the conviction always been there to, hey, I'm going to throw my best stuff, and that's what I'm going to ride, or is that something that you've sort of bought into more in the last year or two or whenever?
Yeah, when I'm convicted in my stuff, that's when I'm throwing my best stuff. And, I think, there's been ups and downs with that. Thinking back on last year, being injured, I don't think I was throwing with the same conviction. My stuff wasn't quite where it should have been. So the conviction was probably not there as much as it should have been. But, yeah, I'd say this year, the confidence of just after what had happened last year, just the Mariners bringing me back, honestly, gave me a lot of confidence. I didn't know if I was going to be back, to be honest. And, that them believing in me, it was easy to kind of believe in myself after that. And yeah, this year I've been convicted in my stuff, and it's worked out. And obviously, gonna focus on that and keep being convicted.
Do you really think they were going to non-tender you or DFA you?
Yeah, I thought there was nobody really talked to me. I mean, at the end of the year, just the way the year went, I thought that could have happened. And I talked with Jerry at the end of last year, and I said, I want to be back here. And he told me that you're going to be. So that was big, kind of like weight lifted off the shoulders because, I really didn't know. But then, Jerry kind of told me, we want you back here. So that was really nice to hear.
We talked with Pete about your spring training meeting, how you went in and said, this is who I'm going to be this year. I mean, were you planning on saying that? He said it quite colorfully, how you said it. But, when you went in there, you remember that conversation about this is who I want to get back to, or this is who I want to be?
Yeah, I think the success I had in 23, I knew what that felt like, I guess. And then, having the down year in 24, I think the confidence I had in 23, I just wanted to get back to that. And I kind of just told them, this is what I'm going to do. And I've been able to do it.
Gabe, with this being your first postseason, what have you learned about the workload demands, knowing that your name could be called on any given night? And how much did the HP staff help prepare you guys to reach October?
Yeah, it's been a heavy workload all season long. I think I was like second in the AL in appearances or something like that. And so, it's been a heavy workload. And, the training staff has been a huge help. Lots of pills too, but the training staff has had my back all year. Really helped me out.
Gabe, you mentioned the confidence going into spring training. At what point in the beginning of the season did you kind of realize, okay, I got back to what I wanted to be, and was it basically the same as the way you felt in 23, or even an elevated level?
I'd say I felt it even before the season had started. Really, my first outing in spring training, I saw the velo kind of tick back up. So that was really nice to see, and I knew that my A+ stuff was coming out of my hand, and the confidence just kind of followed with it. What was the second part of your question? I'm sorry.
Compares to what you were feeling in 23 during the
I'd
same feeling or any differences?
I'd say physically the same, mentally and mentally a little bit better. More confidence.
Yeah, I'm sure this ties back to the conviction you were talking about before, but your success against right-handers in particular, was there a coaching conversation or a certain at-bat that clicked for you where that kind of locked in, or what do you attribute that to, basically?
Yeah, we talked about Plan A earlier. I kind of always had a Plan A against lefties, and I didn't really have that against righties. I was just kind of maybe trying to be a little too fine with righties, and it was just a mental shift, really, just attacking righties with the same confidence that I do with lefties.
Gabe, you spent parts of basically a decade in the minor leagues before getting up and having a real mainstay role, everyday role in a major league bullpen. And then you took off, obviously, with the Mariners a couple of years ago. Was there a point earlier in your career where if you were to say to yourself one day you would be a major factor in a postseason series? Like, did you believe in that could happen for you? Or was that something that maybe even 5 years ago you didn't think that could be a possibility?
I've always had confidence in myself. I always knew that when I was healthy and right that I could be, a big factor in a bullpen. But, there were definitely times, thinking back to specifically 2022, I got sent down and I had a 14 ERA in AAA. And there were definitely, those thoughts of creeping in like, this could be it. I might never pitch in the big leagues again. So I guess it kind of goes both ways. Definitely had thoughts of this might be it. And I've also had thoughts like, I know I can do this and I know I can do it at a high level.
Gabe, everyone in the bullpen has talked about how good it could be as far back as spring training, and we've really seen over the last month and these past couple games how good you guys have been, especially in high leverage situations. Just how have you kind of noticed everyone in the bullpen kind of gel together and really kind of just feed into each other over this last month of the season and these past couple postseason games?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, there's this group, the bullpen. We've been together for a while now. With some additions with Ferguson and Luke Jackson and some others, but and those guys just fit right in. They, those guys are veteran guys that have been around and honestly maybe even made us a tighter group with their experience and stuff like that. So, I think we're just really comfortable around each other, and we feed off each other, and we know we have each other's backs. If one guy comes in and can't get the job done, we know the next guy is going to come in and get the, pick us up, get our back, and get the job done.
What makes Munoz so dominant at the end of games, and also about Pizzardo? He's a guy I don't know much about, but he's been great. Can you just talk a little bit about what makes Pizzardo also so effective?
I think that they're just not scared. I mean, obviously, the stuff that's coming out of their hand is elite, so that helps. But they're just not scared. When I watch Munoz pitch, he's an assassin out there. He's not scared, and he doesn't. I think also it's not just the stuff, but I think there's some weird deception. I've never seen anybody throw like him. So he's got a lot of things going for him, and I think the biggest thing though is his mentality.
Gabe, also on Pizzardo, you saw him when he first came in, and they talked about it took him a while to understand the whole concept of attacking and everything like that. How have you seen him grow? I mean, you did that as well. You had to learn what they were really trying to preach.
Yeah, you hear these things, attack the zone and all these things, and it's easier said than done. But Pizzardo's really leaned into it. You can tell out there, no situation's too big for him. Doesn't seem like any moment gets the best of him. He's just kind of this even-keeled guy that, like I said, it doesn't matter the situation. He's going to be the same guy. He's going to go in and attack. And I think, having guys like Munoz and Brash and myself, somebody that throws a lot of strikes and isn't scared of anybody has probably helped. Like I said, we really lean on each other and bounce ideas off each other. And it's a tight-knit group. So I think he's learned a lot from the group. And like you said, he's grown a lot.
It was a little bit tough last year going into surgery. I was a little bit worried, to be honest. I have, like you say, surgery in my knee, so I was a little bit worried. But coming into this year, I did a lot of good things during the off-season. I recovered really well. I was down in Texas doing my rehab and all that kind of stuff. Going into this year, I felt pretty good about it, what I done during the off season. So this year, it feels really good.
Jorge, we've talked a lot about what Cal has done as a switch hitter for you. What goes into maintaining both the right and left-handed swings?
Hablamos mucho, ¿no?, de lo que ha hecho Cal como bateador, especialmente como un switch hitter. Pero ¿qué viene, no, para usted, específicamente a ti, lo que es batear para el lado derecho y izquierdo?
¿Cómo que viene?
¿Cómo te preparas? Pues,
You mean like the preparation? Yeah, seeing Carl doing it, you know, and myself, me especially as a switch hitter, the preparation is a little bit. I'm not gonna say tougher, but like we gotta keep both sides of the play the same. We're trying to do the same each side of the play. Like the preparation is it takes just a little bit more.
Jorge, last year you dealt with the injury. The team didn't go where it wanted to go, and yet in free agency you ended up back here. What made this the place you still wanted to be?
I really wanted to be back here, you know. Going into the off season, I always wanted to be back here, especially with the teammates. And I played here last year. I saw this thing is a special thing. It's a special group, and I wanted to be back here, and I just feel very grateful. I'm here with the guys.
Jerry talked about before the season about how they were keeping tabs with you while you were going through your recovery. You know, on that note of you knowing you wanted to be back here, just what did that mean to you personally, that especially after coming off a tough year, that they knew what you were capable of and still wanted you back in the fold for this season?
Cuando el año pasado, cuando pasaste por cirugía, Jerry habló mucho, ¿no?, de que aún se comunicaban contigo. ¿Qué significó para ti sabiendo que aunque todavía eras agente libre, todavía parecía que te querían de vuelta aquí con el equipo?
It felt great, to be honest. Having the team that you play with, they know you got surgery, but just like to keep in touch and just to they wanted to know how I was doing and how I was feeling. It just gave me so much confidence to go into my rehab. Gave me a lot of support, and I really appreciate that about them.
Jorge, there were a couple weeks early in the season where you weren't batting right-handed in games. When did you start to feel confident again with that swing, that side of the swing, and what allowed you to do so?
I wasn't hitting right-handed because I got a little bit of como que me lastimé un poquito el oblique, como yo digo eso.
He strained his oblique.
Yeah, I strained my oblique a little bit, so I stopped hitting right-handed for a while. So for me to coming back there, I had to wait like to heal a little bit, and then I just started doing it like a month after. I started going into the cage, started doing my routine, trying to match my left-handed routine with my right-handed routine, and I just it took a little bit of time, but I feel really good now.
Jorge, this year we have seen your exit velocity go up. We've also seen a good barrel rate with you. Other than health, which we understand last year was tough, what has contributed to those numbers for you?
For me, it's her. That's the number one thing, but also working in my approach, staying through the middle of the field, trying to get a good pitch to hit, and trying to hit the ball to the middle of the field. I think that's what really helped my approach and helped my exit velo to go up.
How much of a change was that for you? Was that a change for you in approach, or was that something that you had to get back to?
Well, I always try to hit the ball to the middle, but I really have to work on it this off season. It was a little bit of change, just trying to stay to the middle, trying to focus on that, and hitting it from a guy like Edgar. You know, it was a lot of help. Hitting it from a guy like him, just giving me a lot of confidence, and I just trying to work on that.
All right, you've been teammates with Julio Rodriguez now for 2 seasons. What have you learned about him since you became teammates, both as a player and a person, compared to before you knew him?
Yeah, I knew him before, but I got to know him really good last year. He's a great teammate. He's a young guy, but he's very mature. His work ethic is really good. Watching him, I just learn a lot from him. Even that young he is, I learn a lot from him, especially about his like preparation and all that kind of stuff. He's a guy I want to have next to. I want to be next to.
Jorge, you had an amazing month of April to begin the year, and then in May it was a 180, and you were hitting more ground balls than almost any other hitter in baseball. And then after a month, you completely got out of it. How were you able to make such a stark adjustment after the month of May to get back to who you are as a hitter?
It's baseball, you know. I think it's baseball. It's a game on ups and down. I think you have a really good month, then you have a so months, and then you just gotta approach. You just gotta make adjustment. This is a game of adjustment. The pitcher are gonna make adjustment with you. You just gotta keep working and gotta trust it, and just gotta keep going and trying to make adjustment.
Right, when you have 2 home runs in the playoffs off a Cy Young winner, are you able to relish that and all on the flight, watching the highlights or anything like that?
Tú tienes 2 home runs en los playoffs contra un lanzador que ganó el Cy Young. ¿Tomas tiempo de disfrutarlo? O sea, en el avión estás viendo los videos o no?
It's hard not to see the videos. People are gonna sending me the videos, especially my family. They're very proud. So I gotta watch it and I gotta enjoy it. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh is here. He's in the lineup. We're excited to have him back in the lineup, and excited to get started here today with Game 3.
Not a mustache question, Dan. With Naylor, like, he's been dealing with the idea that his wife was going to go into labor at any minute. I mean, how distracting is that for a player? It's his first child. You know, all these things going on around him. Plus, he's got to perform in the playoffs. How difficult can that be?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a huge deal, and it's something that's you're always thinking about that, of course, but I think he's handled everything really well, and has done a tremendous job for us since coming over here, and I think he's one of those guys that's able to to continue to focus on what needs to be focused on at the moment, and we've seen the intensity from Josh, and it's been incredible to have him a part of this club, and we've seen it play out this whole time he's been with us.
Dan, we obviously want to respect his privacy if he wants to keep it personal, but was the baby delivered? And fans want to know if there was, where they can send flowers and gifts.
Yeah, I would just say I'm sure Josh would be happy to talk about whatever. So I would just point you in that direction at this moment. But we're excited to have him back. We're excited he's here with us, and excited to have him back in the lineup.
And do you know who your Game 4 starter is going to be yet at this point?
We're going to see, kind of how today plays out, and we should know more once the game's over tonight. So, we just see how today plays out.
Dan, the last time you guys were in Detroit, same pitching matchup as it was today, Logan and Jack Flaherty. Just what'd you kind of learn or take away from what you saw from Jack and from how Logan pitched this lineup here in this ballpark?
Yeah, I think it's Logan has pitched very well for us, and his ability, especially with his secondaries, the slider, the split, have been so good, and they play off his fastball so well. And that's going to be the key for him today, and attacking this lineup, especially with the lefties, being able to use the secondaries and use that fastball at the top of the zone as we have seen. And Flaherty has a secondaries of his own, good sharp curveball and the sweeper. So offensively, like we've been talking about, our guys have put those ABs together. That's what's going to take again today, and just mounting that consistent at-bat to at-bat attack that they do.
Dan, what have you seen from Randy Arozarena down the stretch, and how his at-bats have compared recently compared to earlier in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I would say with all our guys, really, the ability to stay in the middle of the field, to drive the ball gap to gap, I think that makes us, better as hitters, and we're at our best when we're able to do that. And Randy's certainly, no exception there, and has driven some balls to right field. I thought he hit a couple balls, especially in Game 1, that had a chance to get out of the ballpark to right field, and we're run down at the warning track. So, I feel like he's in a really good spot, and I think was a big key to get the game started, against Scuba with the base hit, and just continues to use middle of the field and the other way, and I think that puts all our guys in a good spot.
Dan, the weather is obviously iffy. Does that change anything about what you guys can and can't do on the field pregame? Maybe how Logan goes about his routine, kind of the not knowing what's coming.
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, there's nothing on the field pregame, but this is very common occurrence during the season. Our guys know what to do, so they'll hitting in the cage and shouldn't change many routines much, and everybody will be ready to go at game time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but yeah. So many often during the season we've talked about the clutch hits, timely hits for this team, and you said yes because these guys love each other, have each other's back. Is there a better example of that than what we saw Sunday? Detroit ties it, and the guys dug deep and got the hit they needed.
Yeah, I think that was obviously the huge key for us is giving. We gave up the lead there to Detroit able to tie it, but then for us to come right back in that next half inning and get that run back was huge. And yeah, I mean that's all part of having each other's backs, and these guys have done that all season long. They've bounced back. They've been resilient, and that was huge for us there. And that was really the difference in the ball game.
Dan, just to see what Julio's done the last couple of days, and obviously you've been around him for years, and he's in the situation where he comes up as a top prospect, and it's kind of the weight of the city and fan base anointing him and that kind of expectation. What's it been like to see him have the breakthrough on this stage that he has in the last couple of days?
Yeah, it's been, exciting. He's obviously an exciting player, and I think the thing about Julio that's the best is he just loves playing the game. He enjoys playing the game. He has fun out in the field. He has fun, in his at-bats, and to see that joy, as he plays and plays well in this series is what it's all about. And I think that's been a huge key for him, is just being able to relax and have fun, and we've seen a lot of fun from him for sure.
Hey, Dan, did you know AJ at all during your respective playing days? Have you gotten to know him since, and what's the chess match like managing against him?
Yeah, I would say we knew of each other, obviously having played against each other over the course of career. Don't know him, super well. Personally have met him a few times here in the course of the series. Tremendous amount of respect for AJ and just how he manages, how he his reputation in the game throughout his career, and just what he's been able to accomplish, and tremendous amount of respect, and I think managing against him, you always know, he's right there with you and trying to move. I don't know how to play chess, so I don't know how to use that as a metaphor. But he's right there on every move, and that's what makes this so fun too.
Dan, acknowledging that it's been just 2 games, can you describe the differences that you've felt managing in the playoffs versus managing in the regular season? Yeah,
I mean, I think the biggest difference really is just sort of the urgency and where you are in the course of a game. I think your guys are pretty rested because there just isn't as much back-to-back games. So you have full bullpens, you have full benches, and you can use them. And I think you can sort of use them earlier and more advantageously at times. And that's, for me right now, that's sort of the biggest difference that I've seen.
When you have relievers who are, rolling like these guys are, and you know how to line them up, pretty consistently, how much does that help a manager and help a team when you have that steady sort of look from the 6th through the 9th?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think that's been a huge key for us, even down the stretch at the end of the year here, is just how our bullpen has performed and finding the right spots for him and then getting him in there, and they've just been able to deliver. And I think the same is true here in the playoffs, and these guys just continue to throw the ball well and give us huge innings, and that's what this time of year is all about is sort of stopping the momentum one way or the other, and these guys have been able to do it very consistently.
Specifically with your closer with Munoz, he's got a nice little track record now of success. What specifically makes him so dominant at the back end?
Yeah, I would say what makes all our guys dominant, and that's attacking the strike zone, not getting behind, not walking guys, being able to attack, get ahead, and control the count, control the at bat a little bit more. And I think that's huge, especially late in the game like that. And Mooney's been able to do that, and as have all our bullpen guys, and that's a big key for us.
And Gabe Speier was in here a little bit ago talking about the confidence he's pitched with this year. When you get into a postseason environment like this, how big of an asset is that? A guy who has pitched in virtually any inning for you this year, and righties and lefties.
Yeah, I mean, confidence is what this game is about, and anytime you can find that confidence and have that and hold on to it, that's a benefit. And Gabe has thrown the ball extremely well, really from beginning to end this year, and he's come up huge in a lot of big moments for us. And you're right, it's been righties and lefties. It doesn't matter. And he's been able to do it, and tremendous amount of confidence in what he's given us all season long, and this is a good time to feel confident because you're going to find yourself in those kinds of situations.
And it's clear that Cal helps Julio in terms of the lineup, but does the attention he gets from other teams and nationally in the media take some of the pressure off Julio to kind of allow him to play more free, knowing that he doesn't feel like he has to kind of carry the weight?
I mean, probably a better question for him. But I think again, just watching, the way those guys have played this year and how it's kind of gone, back to back in the order, it seems to have played out pretty well, and they seem to have been able to sort of work a nice balance, and how that plays out in their mind, not sure, but certainly it's been a powerful 2-3 punch for us for sure.